It's a beautiful day today, and I'm glad to welcome you to my channel. My name is Dorothy, and today I'd like us to talk about polygamy. In recent times, young people have been discussing polygamy and seeing it as an option. The men lean on the fact that the African culture allows a man to marry as many wives as he desires. The women argue that it's all about comfort and financial stability. In some cultures and in some religious faiths, polygamy is accepted and practiced. And so young people think that their grandparents who practiced polygamy enjoyed certain benefits that they are missing. My two grandfathers were polygamists. My paternal grandfather had two wives. My maternal grandfather had two wives. And I am familiar with the dynamics and the intrigues that play out in religious and in polygamous families. At least I had a little taste of it, as I was growing up. Now, what could these benefits be? What is it that is attracting our young people to polygamy? Number one, social status. Having multiple wives was seen as a sign of wealth or prestige. It was the rich men that could afford to marry 2, 3, 4 or more wives. So it was a sign of wealth, it was a sign of prestige, it was a sign that, you were somebody in the community. Number two, economic collaboration. Having multiple wives provided more hands to work in the farms. In those days, when our grandfathers were mostly farmers, they needed more hands to help them in the farms. So more wives, more children meant that they had more people to do the work in the farms, and that meant that the results would be greater yields, more money, more wealth for him and for the family. Number three, increased offspring. Having more wives meant that there will be more children, and some societies saw this as a blessing. Somebody who had more children was considered blessed, probably wealthy, or wealthier than the one who had just few children or the one who had no children. So there was a lot of emphasis on having more children, and for you to ensure that you have more children, you had to marry more wives. What are some of the other benefits that you think people who marry more wives get? Because I can't think of any apart from this few that I have listed. So if you think there are other benefits, just drop them in the comments and let us learn from one another. Now, have you subscribed to my channel? If you are new here, I'd like you to just click on the subscribe button right away. That way, you get to be notified every time I drop a video. And to my returning subscribers, I appreciate you. Thank you for your continual support. Thank you so very much. Now, what are the disadvantages of polygamy? Polygamy often comes with a lot of challenges for everyone involved, for the man, for the wives, and for the children. Every one of them will have something to deal with from the choices that they have made. Number one that I think of right now is family tension. There is usually a lot of tension in a polygamous setting. Jealousy, competition, rivalry, and feelings of neglect are some of the common factors that play out in a polygamous family. No matter how much the husband thinks that he can care for and provide for everybody equitably, those things will always play out, because the human heart really uh, always think that they don't want to share, even though the women have silently agreed to share their husbands, but inside of them, there will still be squabbles, disagreements, fights, jealousy, competition, comments, and some are on a low key, but in other cases they are really, really bad. Conflicts between co-wives or half-siblings can lead to long-term hatred, bitterness, and trauma. You only need to talk to people who grew up in polygamous homes, I mean children who grew up in polygamous homes, and they will recount their stories, their experiences, and the long-term effects that these experiences have had on them and their worldview about polygamous marriages. So I think that it is those who did not experience this that are looking at just the pictures and all that we see on social media and are desiring to practice or to have a taste of polygamy. Number 2, emotional neglect. The wives or the children may experience emotional neglect or abandonment. Now, even when some men say they will love all wives equally, you all know that it is impossible. It is not possible practically. Human beings will always, prefer one person above the other, because yes, it is possible that you will provide whatever you are providing to all the wives the same equally, but in terms of affection, in terms of showing love, you are not going to be able to do it equally to everyone. So some of the wives will experience emotional neglect, and some of the children will also experience emotional neglect, because the children suffer more, because as the women are struggling and trying to win the affection of their husbands, they might be neglecting the needs of their children to be able to attend to their husbands. Now, you also find one disadvantage that I see in polygamy is inequality and power balance. Usually, the husband is the older person, he is wealthier, and he is stronger, he's more powerful, has a voice in the community, and so he can acquire as many wives as he wants. And this dynamic leads to the woman losing her voice, losing herself, and not being able to be the person that she would rather want to be. So she comes in there and she has to subject herself to the rules, to the regulations, to the dynamics of whatever is happening in that home. And then there is the lack of protection for the women and the children. Legally, there's no protection for the woman. She comes in there, she only gets what the husband is able to give to her, and in the instance that the husband passes away, she is left with virtually nothing. The family, the extended family, will come in and take everything from her, except if the man had a will and mentioned her specifically in the will. So legally, many of these wives are not protected, the children are not protected, and on the long run, they might lose out in the scheme of things. Even if there was a will and the stronger wives are able to fight and take over whatever it was that the man had, some of the wives, some of the children might go without anything. So I see that polygamy only benefits the husband, who is the one showing off his wealth, showing off his wives, showing off his power in the community. A polygamous marriage is not a partnership. There's no friendship, there's no companionship. It is a relationship between a master and his subjects. And that kind of relationship cannot be fulfilling to anybody. Even the women who think that, their needs will be taken care of, they will be financially provided for, that's all they get. And after you are financially provided for and cared for, what about your emotional well-being? What about your mental health? What about your social health? All these other aspects of your life will be on hold just because you are in a relationship where you have your money is given to you, you have maybe cars, you have all sorts of things, thrown at you to keep you there and to keep you quiet. And money may be there, or money may not give you the happiness that you really, really need. Now, let me read you a story about a young woman called Sylvia, who found herself in a polygamous marriage. Sylvia was just 22 when she married Chief Ken. Chief Ken was a respected elder in her village. He was wealthy, generous, and twice her age. She became his third wife. Her parents had encouraged her and told her it was an honor to be married to such a wealthy man. They told her, he will take care of you, you will lack nothing. At first, it felt like a dream. Sylvia had her own room, she had her servants, she had expensive outfits, and she had a husband who smiled often and called her my flower. She thought love would grow with time because she wasn't really feeling connected to her husband. But she thought with time love would grow. But she did not understand the unspoken rules of polygamy. The first wife was called Mama Timmy. She was cold, but she was polite. She controlled the house and issued commands to everyone. The second wife was Doris. She was charming in public, but ruthless in private. The rotation of nights became a cruel calendar. If the husband missed her turn, that was it. She couldn't question it, she couldn't do anything about it. She just had to wait for the next turn on the calendar. And when he came to her, he was distant and there was no connection emotionally. Then she got pregnant, and pregnancy brought no joy, only jealousy and competition. And then one day, Chief Ken took a fourth wife. That was when Sylvia broke. She became quiet, her smile vanished, she stopped caring for her appearance. Her son cried for a mother who could not respond adequately. She felt invisible, deceived, rejected, and trapped in a marriage that had robbed her of her childhood, of her youth, and of her dreams. But divorce would shame her family. Divorce was not an option. Where would she go? Who would take care of her child? So she stayed. Each day, she wore a mask, moving through life like a ghost. Inside, she mourned the girl she used to be, hopeful, trusting, full of dreams. Even though her soul whispered, "Leave," her world screamed, "Endure." So she remained in this entrapment of a polygamous marriage. So, the story of Sylvia is a sad one, but that's the same story that many young women have found themselves in. when they are being lured into this polygamous relationship, everything is painted and sugar-coated for them. And they get in there and they find out that they have been deceived. And then they have been trapped because they cannot get out. They cannot leave. The community, the family is counseling her and telling her to stay, to endure. And then she is thinking, where would she go to? Why would she leave her child or her children with a man, because the child belongs to the man? You know, in that kind of marriage, typically she has no say over her children. So at the end of it, she feels trapped, she feels hopeless, she feels lost. And so I like to encourage my younger ladies, do not think that polygamy is an option. Wait for your own husband. Don't think that it's better for you to be the third wife or the fourth wife to somebody who, you know, has his mansion and has everything there, and you will just go. Life is not all about what you will eat and what you will wear. If you have dreams for your life, if you have a purpose for your life, I want to encourage you and to tell you that God also has a plan for your life. And God is able to take care of you. God is able to chart a path for you. A path that will bring you joy, that will bring you peace, that will bring you fulfillment and satisfaction. So stay and wait for your own husband. Don't run into a polygamous marriage. It is a trap that you may not be able to get away from. Thank you. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe and to give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you in my next video.